Okay, so today I wanted to talk about, while I was away, a few things happened. So one, I graduated with my Bachelor's of Science from Dalhousie University. I got a minor in biology. I spent a total of 6 years full-time study at Dal, 1/3 of which was spent entirely on engineering, which served as credits in my Bachelor of Science, and the rest of that time was spent on biochemistry. Happy about that. I finally put those 6 years of school to good use. Jeff and I went down to New Haven, Connecticut for his pro debut, placed second in his class. I was extremely proud of him, and now we're both happily in our off season, which is great. Oh yeah, the subject of this video. I got a breast augmentation, so I'm going to get a granola bar. I've been thinking about getting a breast augmentation for a while now. I would say about 1.5 years seriously considering it, just waiting for when it was financially feasible for me. Had a goal to compete at nationals in powerlifting, which I did, and you can check out my older videos on that, kind of get my breast augmentation after that. I actually booked my appointment for the consultation back in June, but the surgeon here in Halifax has an extremely long waiting list, so it wasn't until October when I could get in. I wanted to explain why I decided to get the breast augmentation. So there was a lot of thought that went into it. It was probably close to 2 years of seriously thinking about it and weighing the pros and the cons. So first off, I just want to make clear that I didn't get a breast augmentation because I was unhappy with my body. In fact, there were lots of pros to having naturally small breasts, I guess. I didn't hate it, and I didn't hate my body, and I would have been quite happy to have not gotten one, say if there was higher risks involved, or if the cons outweighed the pros to getting a breast augmentation, then I just wouldn't get it and I wouldn't be upset for the rest of my life. The point, in my opinion, of a breast augmentation is to augment what you already have naturally, and I don't really see it as taking away your natural body or anything like that. I just see it as using what you already have. So I naturally have a kind of a tiny rib cage and tiny upper body and a very, very wide pelvis. So for me, there wasn't really anything I could do from working out or anything that could grow my upper body proportion. My clavicles are pretty narrow, and I felt that having larger breasts would kind of just balance out my proportions, and that was just a personal preference for me. I also felt that it would help me as a physique competitor, and mostly that's due to the change in proportions, and because when I am dieted down for a show, I do not hardly have anything to even prop up, because I know a lot of girls will put in a lot of padding and basically just create fake boobs on the outside of their boobs to make them bigger or to prop them up kind of on a shelf. So for me, although I don't think it's a make or break, I think I could do well in bikini without it, but I do think that it's convenient and it helps, and instead of creating fake boobs on top of your natural breast, I just put the fake boob under my natural breast. So now I just want to discuss when I think it is the right time for you to get a breast augmentation. If a friend was coming to me and asking whether I thought it was the right time to get a breast augmentation or the right decision, these would be my advice. I think that if you have a healthy body image and you're happy with your body pretty well the way that it is, otherwise I think that you would really benefit from working on getting a more healthier perception of your body before making such a huge decision and commitment to actually surgically change your body. Also, I think it's really important to have a positive support structure around you, so having people who can help you decide, who have an unbiased perspective and a neutral kind of position, and who are able to help you weigh through your personal pros and cons of going with a breast augmentation. I was really lucky to have Jeff. He was very supportive of me either way, whether I would not get the breast augmentation or I would. It really helped me find whether I really wanted to do it for myself. Having someone like that is just so important, and I really think it's invaluable. And I think that if you have someone who would be pressuring you one way or the other, then it might not be the best time, because it could really cloud your own judgment and not help you find out for yourself whether you think it's the right thing for you to do or not. Obviously, it's a lot of money to get the surgery, so this kind of gets into the financial aspect of it. Night Politic, spelled with a K. And she left the advice that you should probably consider the time that you take off as well as the actual cost of the surgery, and I think that was a really good point, so I wanted to bring that up. It can be pretty well a week after that you'd have to take off from work, and that I think if you have an active job. I will share with you the cost of mine. It was $8,000 for me after my consultation, my assessment, and the type of implants and incision that I chose. And that was 8,000 Canadian dollars, not American dollars, so that's gonna be significantly less than American dollars. So if you're from the States and you're able to fly up to Canada, then it might be a lot less expensive for you to do that right now because our dollar is so bad. And you know, you should just throw your money into the Canadian economy. There are financing options for it, and I decided to go with half pay up front and half of paid through financing. It just means that you pay it off over time with some interest. So now I just want to talk about my experience with the breast augmentations. I had a consultation, and on that day we decided on the type of implant that I would have. So I already came to him with an idea of the look that I wanted. I showed him photos of the creepy screenshots I took on Instagram of girls whose boobs I liked, basically. Yeah, someone who's been doing breast augmentation for 30 years, they can probably look at any photo of boobs and just like probably know the exact implant that went in. So he suggested that I go with the round silicone implant. There are also boob shaped implants, so they're kind of like natural breast shape rather than just like the round. They kind of like taper down and get fuller at the bottom. I showed him the photo, and he knew that I wanted a more fuller look at the top, which means that a round implant works best. I also just think that they look good once they fall and they sit under your natural breast, and it just looks like your natural breast is bigger, which was the look that I was going for. Silicone implant that I got is a gel. Liquid silicone can pose more risks if it bursts, whereas the gel ruptured for whatever reason, it wouldn't pour into your body. They're pretty expensive. Like the most of the cost of the surgery was actually the cost of the technology, like the implant that actually goes in, which is really cool. It makes me want to go back into materials engineering, because like how cool would it be to design boob implants? Like that would be awesome. Then next we went into his little like doctor's office thing, and he very politely measured my boob and found the dimensions of it. And then they have a chart. You find your spot on the chart that exactly measures up with your measurements, and then it gives a list of possible implant sizes. So within that list, for my specific size, I chose the largest one. I ended up going with, I think my list, it went from 300 cc or maybe 325 cc up to 375 cc being the largest that could fit in my dimensions. They had this little bra that you put on over your boobs, and then you put the implant in it, and then you see how it looks. They also had this like 3D rendering software where he like took a photo of my boobs, and then he like the 3D software could then put the desired implants in the boob, and then you could see what your actual final boob would look like. It was super cool. Having more developed pecs actually makes it harder to get the implant in, just because your chest will be more resistant to stretching. So he was like, there is a possibility you might not get the 375 in which case I'll put the 350. And I was like, that's totally fine. So I wanted him to use his best judgment, seem as though he is the professional, and he has been working with implants for 20 odd years. I think going in with a predetermined size it's probably not a great idea. I think you should go in with an open mind and really listen to what the surgeon has to say, but at the same time be really clear about what you're looking for. Show the photos of the boobs that you like and say that that's the look that you're going for, and then you choose the implant that fits your dimensions and your look. After that, he signed off the form and I was able to book my actual surgery date. On the actual operation day, so headline operation day, they asked that you wash ahead of time with antibacterial soap and don't wear any makeup or any jewelry or anything. Wear comfortable clothing that could either button or zip up in the front. The anesthesiologist went over what kind of drugs he was gonna give me. In Canada, they are not crazy drugs like the ones that they use in the US, where like you just are just high. That's not what we use here. I just got painkillers. I was given something to knock me out, and that's it. So he just went over what I was going to have, then what I was going to take afterwards during my recovery, which was just painkillers. I didn't take any muscle relaxants or anything like that. Then I went into this operating room. I just walked into the operating room, lie down on the bed, and then I got knocked out. Then the surgery happened, and then I woke up and I was in the recovery room. The entire procedure was, I think, 45 minutes in the actual operating room, but you do have to stay for an extra hour to recover. So I think the whole kind of ordeal was 3 hours and plus waiting time beforehand. So it was like 4 hours, and Jeff kind of just stayed there when I needed him. He left, picked up my prescription for after, and then came back, and they just require that you have someone drive you home. So as I was waking up, I was it wasn't even, it was a very, very dull pain. It's kind of like the same pain that you get when you have like DOMS in your body, like when you train, just a dull pain. So I had that in my chest, just a tightness feeling. And now we'll talk about my recovery. So it was exactly actually yesterday, 2 weeks post-surgery, and I feel completely normal. I've already gone to the gym twice and done pretty regular workouts. So I was able to train at just a little before 2 weeks post-op. The first week was definitely the least comfortable, and for me the first few days following the surgery were like nothing because I was on the painkillers, which I took every 4 hours, so I wasn't experiencing any pain at all. And I think I got overzealous. As you can see, I have a few decorations here. I was like just buying home stuff, and that was my little project to decorate the house after my surgery. So I think I did have to nap every single day, but I probably wasn't resting my upper body as much as I should have. So 3 or 4 days after the surgery, I stopped taking the painkillers, and that was when I was the worst for me. So I was pretty sore all the time and just like felt uncomfortable, but I wasn't not able to do stuff. Like I would go out once a day and just like browse home stores or do whatever, go out for dinner with Jack. I couldn't unbuckle my seatbelt and stuff like that. At about a week after, I just felt completely good. Still really tired feeling, almost like you have the flu, like you just need extra sleep during your recovery. So I would take a nap, generally 2-hour nap, and then sleep the full night as well. Up until now, I feel like every 3 days I need extra sleep, but otherwise perfectly fine. Training, I'm good to train. I'm just not doing pressing movements. You know, the implant goes under the pec, so it's not gonna be comfortable to do pressing movements until as soon as it's comfortable. Honestly, I'm just gonna start doing the pressing movements again because I like doing them. The pec kind of goes over the boob at the top. The boob is kind of exposed at the bottom, and then your natural breast is on top. Yeah, that's just personal preference. That's probably what I'm gonna do. But you don't have to. A lot of people choose not to train chest ever after their surgery, and that's, again, it's just personal preference. Definitely want to continue doing powerlifting in the future. As soon as I'm able to do bench press, I will. And then I'm just gonna do that recreationally, not going to aim for worlds or just kind of doing it as a hobby on the side because I love the environment and I love the people involved in powerlifting, and I think it's a great sport. So definitely want to continue participating in powerlifting, and I definitely think that bench pressing and gaining pec strength is important. So I will keep that in as soon as I can. But again, I'm not too concerned about the time that I need to take off. I can just take that time to focus on my back and my shoulders and my lower body. Now I'm going to go over some of the questions that I received. So I did a post on Instagram which I'll put it on this screen there. Oh, will I have to go up a weight class in powerlifting? I think the boobs added like maybe a pound to my overall body weight, and I don't really care about that 1 pound difference. However, my competitive weight class was 103 pounds, but quite frankly, with this muscle that I put on now, even since then, I don't think that that's attainable for me again, nor do I want to get that light again, unless I'm prepping for a show. But I'm not going to do a powerlifting meet around a show again. I've learned that that's not a good idea. So I think that I will be fine in the 52 weight class, which I fall in anyway, and I would just pursue powerlifting recreationally at that weight class. You have to like take a lot of time off due to surgery. That's going to vary per individual. So I've heard of some people needing just 2 weeks like I did. I think that's probably the minimum. I would say it can take anywhere between 2 weeks and 6 weeks off. Nina Caroline asked, any scarring? Oh, I didn't go over actually where I got the incision. So there's 3 options. I could either do an armpit incision, a nipple incision. I got it under because he said that there's the least complications for that one, and I just decided to go with that one. Like, I'm not embarrassed that I got a breast augmentation. I don't care, like, I'm not worried about getting judged on that. Clearly, I'm doing a video announcing it. I won't be embarrassed by a little scar, which is only 1 inch, by the way, if that. And I think that if I'm wearing bikinis and stuff, which I would be the most revealing thing I wear in public, then they're going to be covering up the under boob area anyway. LOD asked, how did I get the money for surgery? Well, I am a grown-up and I have a job, believe it or not, so I'm an online coach. So I train clients online and it's really awesome. I love my job. I love working with people, sharing my knowledge. That's the most important thing for me. I love gaining knowledge and I love sharing knowledge. So I take a really scientific approach to coaching, and so far it's been really successful. Probably 99% positive experience with the clients that I've coached over the years, so it's great. I am currently accepting clients right now because I took time off for my surgery, but I'm back to normal and I'm excited to work with you if you want to work with me. Email me. So my money is, I just made it myself. Oh, and then she asked if I was scared. And I actually was very scared the night before, and I think it was more so fear of the unknown. I didn't sleep at all the night before. I waited in a room with Jeff and I was pretty nervous, and I was like sweating and stuff. I just sweat when I get nervous. Okay, so it's like sweating like in this room waiting to go in, but it was honestly nothing. It's nothing to worry about. I even watched videos of girls being like, oh, it's nothing, and then like saying that it was really painful for them, but for me it wasn't. And I think that if you, and these girls weren't people who weren't into bodybuilding or anything, so I feel like as someone who trains and lifts weights, you have just like a better tolerance to pain, and it doesn't feel like anything. It's like the burn that you get while training. It's nothing. So yeah, definitely don't think there's any cause for concern or need to be scared. Fit by Chloe asked, how did you choose my surgeon? I chose my surgeon by looking up Breast Augmentation Canada / Halifax, and there was 2 surgeons in my area, and Dr. Bendor Samuel, I think, had more years experience, and I don't know, I just decided on him, and I'm really, really happy with my decision, so I definitely recommend him. Diet While Recovering by SKW Fit. My diet was whatever I wanted to eat, and I just tried to eat enough protein, but like honestly, I wasn't even in recovery, so it was pretty well normal. I didn't track though. Hey guys, so it's a bit after the fact, but my camera died before I was able to answer the questions that I thought I answered. It just died on me. So I wanted to just quickly touch on how was my boyfriend during the whole process. Jeff and I lived together. He was my nurse. He helped me get in and out of bed. He helped me make my meals and did the tidying and cleaning up around the house. So he was awesome during the whole process. So I really, really, really great. So thank you, Jay, if you're watching this. When do I think is the best time to get the surgery financially? I would say not while you're in school, not while you're accumulating debt through school. I would say when you are a working person and you have an income. that would probably be the best time financially, and it wouldn't hurt to get advice from someone that you trust or a financial advisor on how to finance. And I had questions on how I'm going to get back into training. I will show you guys how I'm going to get back into the training, and this also answers the question, will I be continuing to do vlogs? And yes, I will. I'm really excited to get back into doing that, so stay tuned for that. And I also wanted to give you guys a few resources that I found really helpful when leading up to my surgery and deciding on whether I wanted to go with it. And the most important one was a very short but really well said blog post by Katie Hearn, and you can access that on her website. And it just kind of briefly goes through her experience, and she had kind of a really insightful view on getting it done. Also, I watched Brittany Lesser's videos, and she wasn't the one I was talking about who didn't lift weights, by the way. I watched a few different YouTubers, but honestly, I didn't find them as helpful as Brittany's vlogs. I don't think she has them public anymore, but you can actually contact her, I think, and ask her for them specifically. Those are really my personal preferences for resources, so you should definitely go check those out. And I'll have them, Brittany's channel and Katie's website linked down below. I was gonna show you guys my new bras that I got, so I'm gonna go through them. This is the first bra I got. It's from Forever 21. It's my most comfy one. It has a really nice, cute back that I like. More bras from Forever 21. So here is the first one, and this one's kind of like a little crop top, so I really like that. It's got a sheer back to it, and it's so cute. I love it. For size, I used to be like an extra small or a small in bras, and then now I'm all the way up to a medium. So I'm able to fit in some size smalls if they're a large small, and then mostly just medium. And in Lululemon, I went up from pretty well, like a size 2 in the sports bras, 2 or 4, up to a 6 is like pretty tight on me now. But I am at my heaviest in my off season, so I wouldn't go any bigger than that because I'll lose boob size as I lose weight. There's another one from Forever 21. It's so cute. It's got a little like lattice in the front with the little holes. Aww. And that's the back. Black. And then I got these two. These aren't really sports bras. They're kind of just like it. Aww. This side definitely gives me like major side boob, so I might wait to wear this one for when I lose a little bit of size there. From Lululemon, so this one was obviously more expensive. It's $50. That is my Lululemon bra. It's got a cute little copper. Oh, I love copper. It's so in right now. Got a little rose gold copper zipper in the front, and it's pretty standard in the back. That's it. So thank you all so much for watching. My camera's about to die, of course, but thank you for everyone who left really, really nice supportive comments on my Instagram. I wasn't sure how it was going to be received because I think I was kind of known as someone who didn't have a boob job. I don't know if that's going to change how people feel about me or whatever, but ultimately I made the decision for me, and I'm so happy with my decision, and I hope that this video was informative and it helps you if you're thinking about getting a breast augmentation or if you're just curious about it. So yeah, thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys soon. Bye.